leap of faith.
This is the way. Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Tells me when you're relentless.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Film Optix, brought to you by the Drive-In Podcast Network, where we discuss film, TV, and everything pop culture related. I am your host, Christian, and as always, each and every single week, I'm joined by my co-host and my friend, Devon. Devin, it's Friday, my dude. What's up?
Call me the White Wolf, please. That's my new name.
I like that. There we go. It's Friday. There we go. We got the White Wolf in the house for your round of applause pleasures.
Or Battle Beast. I'll take that too.
Battle Beast. I like that one too. I like it. It's good stuff. Yeah. So it's Friday, man. How's your week been? What have you been watching? What you been playing? Did you finish The Last of Us yet?
I have been playing The Last of Us, an hour here, an hour there. It's pretty good.
Okay. That's good to hear.
I enjoyed the sequence where you're upside down and you're shooting zombies. That was cool.
Every single time I play that, it literally gives me anxiety every single time I play. Like no matter what difficulty.
It's such a cool perspective.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Okay, so you're still more towards the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I just ditched the first lady.
Oh, Tess.
Yeah, she's gone.
Oh yeah. You're like
now it's just me and Ellie.
Okay, yeah, you're still very far.
And the weird trailer guy.
Yeah. Okay. I forgot his name. Was it not Ben? But yeah, you're still fairly early into the game for sure. So I thought you finished it by now, to be honest. But I guess you don't have the rush, the commitment. Well, you got the commitment. You're just playing it little by little. So I mean. It's been a while since you've owned a PlayStation, so I can totally understand. Yeah. And I mean, playing PC games. What's that new Knockout game? Is it called Knockout or is it oh my gosh, what was it? Kind of like Dodgeball. Is that the game that Ethan and them are playing right now? I think it is.
I have no idea.
It's like I was watching him play the other day. It looks like kind of like a dodgeball, big arena type deal. So it looks pretty cool. Not going to lie at all. But yeah, there's a lot of Last of Us news out there today. They're reportedly making a remake of the first game. And, it's bringing a lot of up in arms because, everyone's kind of worried about, Sony doing this whole, let's focus on our past games instead of bringing new ones, or the whole game preservation thing, which I actually just dropped my piece or my article, over on musiccitydriving.com. That is musiccitydriving.com. Definitely go check it out. It's literally titled Nintendo and Sony Suck at Game Preservation. Title was inspired by the Wolf Den podcast. They're one of my favorite video game podcasts out there. Literally a podcast with the same name. Of course, I gave them credit where credit is due. So there you go. But yeah, definitely go check that out on musiccitydriving.com. But today we are here to talk about not Invincible. Wow, we did that. That's in our other podcast, The Falcon and Winter Soldier, episode 4, titled The Whole World is Watching. Where have I heard that before,
yes.
Devin?
Oh, yes, they are.
Where have I heard
definitely
that before?
Watching.
Yeah. It's good stuff. But before we begin today's breakdown, our review of Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 4, I almost said episode 5, that's next week, which is, I think got confirmed. It's around like 60 minutes, which is crazy.
Yeah, they've all been around 50 to 60-ish.
I have to get up like earlier and earlier every single Friday because I'll wake up earlier before I start work. I'll watch it so I can like breeze through Twitter as I please. But,
exactly.
And then I start work. But I got to say the hype isn't really there as much as I felt for WandaVision. But I don't know.
There's just less mystery, I guess.
I think so. Yeah, less
which is good because there will be less disappointment.
Oh my! Devin is still scarred about Ralph Boner. Everyone, he's still scarred about this.
I think everyone is.
I'm totally fine. I'm living. I'm here. I think it's fine. That's just me, though. I don't know. But before we begin today's review,
I hope Ralph Boner's the power broker.
Ralph Boner. You know what? That would be so. Well, not. I don't think they would actually cross paths like that. But yeah, we don't know who Power Broker is. But before we get into today's review, you can listen to this podcast on platforms around the internet, and make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Film Optix. That is Optix with an X for all of our latest announcements. So let's get our initial reactions here first. I'll go first again because I did it for Invincible. So I'll kind of just keep the trend going, at least for this week. I honestly I said this right before we started recording, like the show finally got interesting, but it only took 4 episodes and there's 6 total, which is, I'm glad that like this was so interesting. This episode, because it was, I think not everything I was looking for, but it definitely made up for the past 2. No, episode 2 was good. I did not really like episode 1 all that much. Like I thought it was a solid like B+. Like I thought it was okay, but episode 2 was good, and then episode 4. So I guess they're 2 for 2 right now. It's just been kind of up and down. It seems as of late, but this one definitely high stakes, and everyone's hating John Walker more than ever now, especially towards the end of this episode, which we'll get into in here in a little bit once we dive into spoilers. But yeah, it's getting good. Like we've gotten 2 good episodes of Invincible and Falcon and Winter Soldier back to back. What about you? What's going on in that brain of yours?
Yeah, it's good to get back on track. Episode 3, I'd say it was half good. The second half, at least.
The latter, yeah.
It was a weird one though. But yeah, we're back. We got some good action here. We got some good Wakandan action here.
Yeah,
that was exciting. What are they called? The Dor Milaje?
Yeah, the Dor Milaje, or yeah, something of that nature. If we're butchering it, sorry, but yeah.
We're looking good. We got 2 episodes left. Got some mysteries to unbox, and we got some fights to be had.
Yeah, dude, it is. It's interesting. I was very pleased with this episode. So I believe this episode pretty much starts off where the last one ended, which is with oh my gosh, Bucky meeting one of the Wakandans. I'm blanking on her name, honestly. Like it's kind of hard to keep up with all these characters sometimes. But
yeah, we started off in Wakanda.
Yeah,
that was nice.
That was
change of scenery.
Yeah, what did you think of that scene? I thought it was very touching, at least.
Yeah, it was cool. He was chilling by the fire. He's kind of getting baptized a little by the Wakandans.
Cleansed.
Just making sure he's not still an elite killer under a trance.
See, I wonder how they actually went about that, because like how do you break a spell like that? Or yeah, I guess you can call it a spell, or that kind of mind control, because we obviously see it, and I'm glad we got that scene, because it's not this like, oh, time has gone by and poof, Bucky's no longer the Winter Soldier. He can think for himself. He's no longer brainwashed. I'm really glad we got that scene. And it was a nice touching one. She's going through the words, and you can see him, fighting it off, saying, like, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Tears are coming down. Those
tears, man. That's some good acting there.
And then she was like, like, you're free. And then it kind of just cuts away, which, great start off to this episode. So I thought that really laid the groundwork for a lot of things, and things that we've kind of wondered about in the past of, how did he break? I mean, we kind of saw it. You know, we see like the end result a little bit still, but I would still like to know how they actually broke that trance within him. But maybe some kind of Wakandan technology. I don't know. But yeah, this, so moving on for the episode, it pretty much revolves around Kari and the Flag Smashers. It kind of, raises the question, you know, they are viewed as a terrorist group, but it's kind of like, what did Kari say later on in the episode, when she was talking to Sam's sister? You know, I don't know how she got that happen, but, what did you think of, I guess, what did you think about, you know, just the plot of this, episode so far of where it's heading?
I don't know. I'm not really feeling Kari and the Flag Smashers. Like in the beginning, it seemed like a cool idea, a cool concept, people that wanted to go back to how it was during the blip. But now it just seems like they're trying to make us like them, but they're not doing anything to make us like them.
Yeah.
Like she's just kind of killing people and threatening people. And I don't really know what her motive is. What are they trying to do?
I don't know anyone's motive.
They're trying to give the serum to kids. Is that what it was?
Maybe.
I don't even know.
Like I don't like the Flag Smashers themselves. Yeah, it's kind of dwindled. I like Kari as a character because they do focus more on her than the other Flag Smashers anyway, because obviously she is the leader, but I feel like she gets a fair amount of screen time. And, you know, we see throughout this episode with her, Kari and, Sam, you know, having the conversation that they had, you know, John Walker coming in, and there's so much going on. We still don't know who the power broker is. And I mean, I feel like the meat and potatoes of all of this, you know, the Wakandans want revenge on Zemo. They're saying to Bucky, you know, like, how could you let him go? And all this stuff. And he's like, well, he technically kind of escaped on his own. It's like, okay, well, yeah, technically he did, but he had a little bit of an assistance. I mean, like, come on, like, oh, let's just start a prison. Let's start a prison fight and just break you out of here.
Yeah, that was that easy.
It was that easy. But, you know, we get a little bit more back. I wish we got a little bit more backstory with Kari, because, I mean, we see the mother figure that was in her life. Oh my gosh, I'm blank. And again, listeners out there, sorry. It's been a long day. And do you remember, Devin, what the name of like their mother?
No, it was a strange name.
Yeah, it was a pretty strange name. So, but you know, through that funeral, you know, they're having for her. I didn't realize she actually like died. I thought she was on the brink of dying. Their mother figure, the Flag Smashers mother figure. But I guess, you know, she had passed away at some point. But, you know, we do get a little bit more in depth with Kari. I really do I enjoyed the conversation with Sam and Kari, because, you know, it's the whole plan was to finally, you know, not meet up with Kari, but, you know, confront her about everything and why they're doing what they're doing. And you have John Walker and Jamal Lamar. Wow.
Close.
Yeah, close enough, but kind of sort of sorry. But yeah, so you have
no respect for the dead.
So, hey, that dude got the wind knocked out of him, man. I'm telling you.
Pretty sure he got all of the breath he's ever gonna breathe ever again knocked out of him.
Literally, his soul just left his body on contact with Kari. I was like, wow. But yeah, so Lamar and John Walker, you know, they somehow find not Captain America. They somehow find Bucky, Sam, and Zemo again. And it's like,
they have their government contacts. It makes sense.
Yeah, I get it. It just felt like a little random, just like, pop, we're here. It's like, okay, like they're here again, whatever. But, you know, during the entire, you know, Sam is very transparent with Zemo about the whole Wakandan thing, saying, hey, like, you know, by the way, there's all these, you know, Wakanda warriors who kind of want you dead. And, you know, they're giving him, I believe it was 8 hours until they come for him, which they do. We'll talk about that in a bit. But what did you, I guess,
I'm loving Zemo still. Like he's such a snake. He's such a little slithery snake. Just
little snake.
Just slithering around, just causing havoc and getting away with everything.
Definitely,
like he knows the Wakandans are after him, so he brings candy to the children to get information from them, just so he's.
What did you think of that? By the way, I want to get your thoughts about.
It was definitely creepy, but like it worked.
It did. It's kind of like taking that concept. Everyone's like, oh, kids, an adult's luring a kid in with candy. It's like, well, okay, there's not a van. He's out in the open, so I guess that's fine. And then what did he said to one of them? He's like, hey, you see those guys over there? They're the enemy. They cannot be trusted. I was like, oh my God, this is craziness.
And then they meet up with the little girl again later. He's like, there's my contact up there.
he said associate. I was like, associate? Yeah. She's like 10, not even, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I'm really enjoying Zemo. I'm actually enjoying the side characters more than I'm enjoying Bucky and Sam. I mean, to an extent, I really did like the when they finally confront Kari, they find out where the funeral is for their mother figure, and they're moving forward. And I
really like Sam this episode. He kind of had to show his level-headedness that he always has, and
it was literally his job to talk to military militia about their issues, and like he was pretty much a counselor for veterans. And John Walker and Lamar come up. Yes, got it.
That fight scene was so cool.
It was
like everyone's just like converging into this weird Baron Zemo apartment condo.
Yeah, well, I really like.
He's just sitting back sipping tea and watching it all before he slips away.
Especially during the first time where not the first time. So going back to like the talk between Sam and Kari, the plan was to have Sam go in for 10 minutes, try to, I guess not interrogate Kari, but kind of understand where she's coming from and whatnot, figuring out like where's the serum, what she wants, like what is her true motives. And Sam starts to break through to her. We see that. And I mean, it was predictable because I'm like, I knew John Walker was going to walk in there because he just wanted to go in and, capture Kari, the Flag Smashers, and end all this. And I get it. Like he is like John Walker is not he's not a good Captain America, but he is a perfect soldier. And what I mean by that is that he does follow orders, and that, his mindset of, he has all these medals and whatnot. Like he has done quote unquote good deeds or, for his country, but he's not the Captain America, obviously, that we know and love or that we need. So, he's, practically following orders. He gets a little antsy and whatnot, gets his ass kicked by, all the other super soldiers around there. And, Kari's starting to open up to Sam. And, Sam's talking about, people see you as a terrorist group and, you're blowing up stuff. And you have all this other super soldier serum. Like, what's your game? And I think that goes back to what you were saying, about the Flag Smashers in general. Like, what is their actual goal?
Yeah, because they have that discussion where they're talking about whether they're going to give more people the serum or not. And then she just has it in her fanny pack ready to go.
She pulls it out of someone's grave. I was like, wow. Crazy stuff. I was like, all right, so I guess it's just a free for all, but it seems that they are building their army. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I don't know why they didn't give it to more people. They kind of just let it go on a table, and then Zemo runs into them and smashes almost all of them.
All but one. Guess who finds it? John Walker.
And we should say this is after this dude just gets embarrassed by the Dora Milaje, like just harassed and abused.
Yeah.
Like the way she kicked up that shield and she was about to take it and she was like, nah, have your toy back. I don't need this.
Yeah. So yeah, that was after the talk that Sam and Kari had when, he just bulges in. Like he told Sam, he's like, I'll give you 10 minutes. And then he's like, I guess I want to assume around like 5 minutes. And he's like, no, this is wrong. And then he goes and charges and, Kari takes off and then everything kind of balls into each other with the Dora Milaje. But yes, he
was like, they're not even super soldiers, man.
Yeah. After John Walker gets his ass handed to him, it's more of, Lamar's like, hey man, he's like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? And he's like, they weren't even super soldiers. And it's like, he realizes
that dude was down bad.
What did Sam say? He was like, he's like looking good out there or something like that.
Yeah, looking good.
It was so funny because it was all about, Zemo and the Wakanda and the Dora Milaje. And then you had Sam. No, Sam got it. Yeah. So Sam and Bucky were kind of just watching from the sidelines until they had to intervene because, they were trying to kill Zemo. They didn't want Zemo dead. And then it was just, oh my God, it was crazy.
And then as it's happening, Zemo just slowly walks away.
He slithers away like a little snake.
That's all he is.
Little slippery, little snake. Yeah. Like
he tries to get us to like him with his dance moves and the Zemo cut. Marvel took action and gave us the Zemo cut right away.
Yeah, they literally just cut that entire thing, and it's like it's just Zemo dancing, trying to be. He's such an uptight. Like it seems that Zemo is very uptight, but it also seems that he's very relaxed because he definitely has a plan in motion. So he's not,
Yeah, he's the smartest guy in the room.
He really is,
and the richest,
and the rich. Well, are the Wakandans richer? I don't know.
They probably are.
They got all that vibranium.
Vibranium is the most expensive material in the world.
Yeah, and I like. For a second, for like maybe half a second, I felt bad for John Walker. I'm like, dude, he is getting his ass handed to right now. And it's like, even when he first tries, backing up a little bit, back to, when Kari and Sam were having that discussion, he tries to like break through Bucky, and Bucky's like, okay, like, no, we're not going to do this. And he's like, He's like, you think that super serum, serum makes you special, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, bro, just no. But I wanted to get your thoughts about this when they're talking. Well, after, shit hits the fan, and they're talking about the super soldier serum. And after Zemo has destroyed all of them, besides he misses one. And you have Zemo's talking to Sam saying, were you ever offered the super serum soldier, the super soldier serum? And
it's a tongue twister.
It really is. But I wanted to get your thoughts on kind of how, what were you thinking in that moment? Or it's like, I think this is a question everyone's kind of been wondering. It's like, would Sam take it? Would, John Walker asked Lamar about it at the same time, and they're like, yeah, of course. And then Sam's like, no. But I wanted to kind of get your thoughts about that.
Yeah, it's interesting. It feels like Zemo was impressed with Sam because he was just so quick with it. He was just like, nope, I'm good.
He laughed.
I don't need it.
He's like, no. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it makes sense that Lamar would have taken it. We don't get too much backstory on him, but he just kind of seems like the do whatever you're told soldier, kind of like John Walker, but even more so. He just kind of follows John Walker around.
He seems a little bit more level-headed too,
but he ends up getting killed. What did you think about his death? That boy is done.
Okay. So that happened after Kari gets in contact with Sam's sister, and their second meeting because. She felt like she was kind of startled and she ran away. And then, she wanted to talk to Sam again alone because she felt like they had a connection. It's like, okay, well, that makes a lot of sense. And it was kind of like a mentor talking to a mentee because Sam was getting through to her. And, everything they were talking about, I can't remember the conversation exactly off the top of my head, but it did seem like, there was at one point where he kind of it seemed that he twisted Kari's words around, and she's like, no. She's like, you made it seem like I'm this. And he's like, well, is it really all that different? You know, like he's not really seeing a difference here. And then, so like going back to that, I think that's kind of what stuck to her. But like the fact that she called Sarah, Sam's sister, and he's like, hey, you know, like I just needed to get your attention. And then, but Sarah's sister was like, you know, like, I'm telling you right now, my brother does not work for Captain America or the new Captain America. And she had said something along the lines of, you know, why would I care about like a symbol that doesn't, you know, necessarily care about me, like me and my people. And I thought that was pretty powerful as well. What did you think? Yeah,
it's just kind of the classic sentiment of when African Americans come back from the war and they aren't even welcomed back in their own country.
Yeah,
like why should they fight that war?
Yeah,
they aren't even respected.
Especially Vietnam War was.
And then Kari had to ruin it by threatening the nephews.
Yeah, and I mean it worked. It definitely got Sam's attention. Of course, you know, Bucky tags along, and
it's like they're trying to make her seem like
she's good.
Yeah, she's playing both sides, but I mean, I'm just not seeing any good qualities there. It's like she is troubled, and like I can see the struggle that they're trying to portray on her. It's just that I feel, you know what? So you played through Spider-Man Miles Morales, right? Yeah.
So
you think she's the tinkerer?
Okay, I don't think she's a tinkerer, but I think that she would have been a good tinkerer. Like, just if they were to recreate that story, like for the silver screen, because technically the tinkerer already exists. Because I think we already got him in Homecoming, didn't we? When he was like, he was like
he was kind of there in the beginning.
Yeah, which that would have been awesome if she was a tinkerer there, though. Like, I mean, not to like, you know, pull from that universe, but she definitely reminds me of Finn from Spider-Man Miles Morales. But yeah, going back, so the second time that Kari and Sam meet up, you know, Sam brings back up, of course, and here we go, John Walker again, you know, trying to just intercept, and they kind of just
it was interesting that Sharon Carter had some kind of satellites going on to track John Walker's location.
Dude, she's got the connection.
She's got to be the power broker.
She probably is, like 100%. Like I wouldn't put it past them at this point. There's only 2 episodes left, and it's like, I mean, going back to your original question. Sorry, I kind of diverted there a little bit, but back to Lamar's death, because Kari just gets like pissed and just like freaking tackles him into a. Whew, man, I was like, oh, he's dead. Or if he's not, he is like gravely injured and is like on the brink of death.
This is already after John Walker is roid raging off of superheroes, super soldier serum. There we go.
Told you it's hard. Yeah, and so when he sees that serum, when John Walker,
I kind of wish they would have showed him taking it, because he definitely took it.
Yeah, because when he was fighting the Flag Smashers, it was after Lamar died. And
he bent that metal pipe, and then Sam was like, "Oh shit!"
He was like, "Crap, dude." He's like, he's not the average.
Deal with this fucker now.
He's like, he's not the average Joe anymore. Gotta take care of him.
He's not the average John anymore.
He's not the average John. But yeah, so I guess for thoughts about Lamar, I mean, his death was pretty quick. I mean, he didn't really serve any actual purpose in this entire season.
Yeah, I was excited when they first introduced him because he seemed cool, but he didn't get to do anything. So not going to miss him.
Yeah, I'm not really, like, honestly, until John Walker said his name, I totally forgot his name. I was like, what is his name again? Like
Battlestar.
Battlestar. I mean, I guess that's easier. That's actually easier to remember more than Lamar, I guess, at least for me. But I wish he would have been it seemed like he was the voice of reason for John Walker, but it didn't really work all that much because he should have been able to rein him in. And we even kind of see, how he kind of lurks in John Walker's shadow right as they're talking about, taking the super soldier serum, And then that one fan comes up to John Walker, doesn't even ask for Battlestar's, his autograph. It's all about John Walker, which is like, I mean, of course, Captain America, but like, you know, this dude's right there as well. So I'm assuming people know who Battlestar is, but yeah, I'm not gonna really miss Lamar. I mean, obviously it was a more emotional death for John Walker than even the audience, because Carly
he goes into hunter killer mode.
Yeah, Carly just tackles the crap out of him pretty much. I was like, damn. Man, oh man. And then she was just like, oops, like kind of sorry. I'm not, you know, haven't really handled my powers all that well. And then, yeah, John goes crazy. And then he literally just, oh my God, he hunts that dude down. I felt worse for him than I did Lamar. The other flag smasher, like I think it was the teacher, wasn't it? That they were originally looking for.
It wasn't the teacher, but
no,
it was the one that Carly talked to earlier in the episode about
the Asian guy,
the serum.
Oh no, the other guy, yeah,
the American guy,
yeah, the American guy, and he's like it wasn't me, He just John Walker just hunts him down and just like cracks
uses that shield to murder this man in cold blood, literally. Surrounded by people. Everyone filming.
Everyone.
This is your Captain America.
It kind of reminded
what a moment.
I'm not sure when the last time you saw Did you used to watch iCarly growing up?
It's been a while.
So there was an episode where Neville, it was in the later seasons, Neville from Nevelocity.com. He was like, I guess you can.
You will rue the day.
Yeah. You'll rue the day. You'll rue it. Man, that show is so funny. So there's an episode in the later seasons where it starts off, he blows up at like every single person he kind of comes across, and everyone's like filming him. And it's like, you know, he's not really aware of his surroundings until afterwards. I mean, that obviously kind of reminded me of John Walker. It's just like everyone's just has their phone out, like it's up on the internet, and you know, he's just SOL, and it's like, damn. and not like he literally takes the shield and like decapitates this man, completely decapitates him. And I was like, oh my God, this is like what's going on right now.
They went there.
They went there. I thought it was going to be more ruthless, like Homelander, possibly, because I mean, I saw someone on Twitter was saying, oh, like who's worse, John Walker or Homelander? I'm like, okay, Homelander, because he literally just let an entire plane of people die with Queen Maeve, you know, just let him die. And then he was going to kill him before anyways. And it's like, Homelander's way worse, because you can kind of see there's a struggle with John Walker. You know, we see it towards the beginning of the series. And then especially now in this episode, you know, he gets his ass handed to, and they weren't even, you know, super soldiers to begin with the Wakandans. And it's just like, you know, he's kind of just down on his luck, and he's like, you know, he doesn't feel like he belongs. And I feel like as soon as he took that serum, he's like, I can finally be the Captain America I've always wanted to be. And then he goes ahead and just murders this dude out of nowhere. And it's like, probably won't get any repercussions about it. What do you think?
Yeah, it's probably, I mean, it kind of echoes real life, where they won't be brought to justice immediately or at all, if even.
Yeah. And
if they, like, I mean, in reality, his shield should be taken away and he should be put in jail. But he's going to say that he was avenging his fallen comrade, and he's going to get away with it.
Carly kills Lamar, linebackers Lamar into a brick wall. I got to watch that again. I think this is the first episode I might rewatch within like the first like day or two of it coming out, because oh my gosh. But and especially Invincible, but man, oh man. But yeah, sorry, I know I've been talking here for a bit. Was there anything you wanted to bring up during, you know, this wonderful breakdown, this wonderful review of Falcon
What
and
if
Winter Soldier.
what if Zemo's somehow like
The power
the
broker?
power broker, or if he's somehow like the leader of the Flag Smashers? It's just a way for him to get all the serum and then destroy it himself.
Because it just seems that Zemo obviously, like, he wants superheroes just gone from the world. They shouldn't be here. So it's like, why would he be the leader of the Flag Smashers? Because he was pretty adamant about, destroying the serum, which I don't think Sam.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That he could just be like having them gather it all and then just like, all right, I'll destroy it now.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see the Slytherin way of thinking. I got you.
There was also a moment in the middle of the episode that I really liked where they were talking about super soldiers and how corrupt it makes them and how they become like supremacists is what he kept calling them.
Yeah.
And then Falcon was like, but what about Steve Rogers? And he was like, touche. Like everyone just like respects Captain America, Steve Rogers. Like,
who was
there's
he
just nothing
talking
you
to?
can even say.
Was he talking to Zemo about that? Or was
Yeah.
it? Okay, that's right.
Because Zemo kept calling them supremacists because they want to make themselves better than everybody else.
That's right. So, yeah, and it was something that I don't know if it was Lamar has said it during their with John's conversation. He was saying that, like, power brings out like the real version of like everyone. Like it brings out the real you. But I think so in a way, obviously, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing when he says, power brings out like the real person who you actually are, because I mean, you have Steve Rogers, this kid from, Brooklyn, just as scrawny as can be. He had these great beliefs, and, the serum did change him, but, his beliefs didn't really change. It was more of just him being the actual person who he's always wanted to be, sticking up for the person getting bullied and whatnot, standing up for what's right. So maybe that's what he meant by, bringing out like the true version of yourself. And that's what Sam was saying with, Captain America wasn't evil. But I think Baron Zemo thinks, he has a little bit of his ideas make freaking like total sense, but like are a little bit lost in translation. But yeah. But yeah, that was pretty much my rant.
It's like Zemo is what they're trying to make Carly, but it makes sense for Zemo, but we still don't really know what Carly is working for.
Zemo. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
as far as being like an understandable villain.
Yeah, and I can't say there is a necessary like main villain in this series, because you can especially now you can see John Walker as the villain. You can see
they're gonna have to fight him now.
Yeah,
for sure. You
can see Carly as I wouldn't really say she's like a villain. Like they kind of started off as a villain, but they seem more like a distraction or like the middleman. And then you have Zemo. So it's like, villain. There's more villains in the show than WandaVision had. In a way, well, kind of, sort of, but or just as much. But it just seems that there isn't like there isn't like an Agatha all along type villain here, because and there's Power Broker who we still don't know who that is. So it's going to be a doozy for sure, man. I'm sure whoever whoever reveals himself to be the Power Broker, whether it be someone that we know or someone we haven't, who's been lurking in the shadows, getting a 60-minute episode next week, episode 5, and there's only one more after the finale. So that's all there is to it. But did you want to, let's get into our ratings if there's nothing else you wanted to touch on.
Yeah, I think we got it.
All right. So out of, what would you give your rating scale for Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 4, titled The Whole World is Watching?
I'm going to give it an A-, just like what IMDb has currently.
Okay. I'm actually also going to give it an A-. This is definitely my favorite of the series so far. It answers a lot of questions, a lot of philosophical thinking in here. Like the You know, we have the Vision versus Vision, and it's like I requested audience or whatever he said. It's like they had a battle, but it was more of a educational of academia, mind swapping ideals and whatnot. So I thought that was really cool. But yeah, like a lot of philosophies in this episode. This really makes you think. This one definitely made me think a lot. But yeah, I'm definitely going to give it an A- as well. Probably give it around the I'll give it around the 93 mark. You know, like you said, we still don't really know Carly's endgame. We don't know Zemo's endgame. We don't know John Walker's endgame. He just it's all still all up in the air. So we still don't know who the power broker is. So yeah, that pretty much does it. So that concludes our review of Falcon and Winter Soldier, episode 5, titled "The Whole World is Watching." Again, thank you, Devin, always for joining me each and every week when we cover these for our lovely, lovely listeners out there. And if you're listening to this now, we have our Invincible episode that's also going to be released at the same time on Saturday at 11 a.m. Central. So definitely go check that out as well if you have been following along with that show. We'll be back next week, you know, still covering Invincible and Falcon and Winter Soldier. I don't believe we're going to be doing any movie reviews or anything anytime soon. I did mention on the Invincible podcast that I will be branching out, making a little bit more of a side segment on the podcast for Nashville music artists in town. Going to be interviewing a few of my musically gifted friends, you know, on the podcast. So definitely keep a lookout for that. And of course, go ahead and check out my piece on Nintendo and Sony being terrible when it comes to video game preservation. That is up on the MusicCityDrive-In.com website. And if you've watched Thunder Force, Devin, did you watch Thunder? Did you watch it? No. Oh. Anyway, yes. So if you've watched Thunder Force already, we do have a bunch of reviews up on the MusicCityDrive-In.com website as well. So again, go to MusicCityDrive-In.com and, you know, just have a field day. We got a lot of stuff. We got sports, we got gaming content. There's a lot of Oscar talk, a lot of Oscar talk. You know, that's coming up within the next few weeks. It's like 18 days away. And then boom, award season's over. So, which means I'm going to have to start writing a lot more than, you know, film reviews for the website. But that pretty much covers everything I wanted to tackle. So let's get out of here, Devin, as soon as I can find my place here. And that is a wrap for today, everyone. Thank you all for listening. And make sure to check out the other shows over on MusicCityDrive-In.com and subscribe to our show so you never miss an episode. That was Devin. My name is Christian, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
Make sure to leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Have a nice weekend, everyone.